Welcome to the Brick Velocity Podcast, the show dedicated to helping you maximize your returns by buying and selling Lego. Each episode, your host Ryan will break the stereotypes of investing in Lego, and you can use that advantage to boost your long-term profits. Now, on to the show.
Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of the Brick Velocity Podcast. Today is going to be the first delve into actually talking about specific sets that I'm targeting for investment here at the end of 2021. And we're going to start with the Minecraft theme for this episode. And we're starting with Minecraft basically because Minecraft is the GOAT. It is consistently the very best theme for investing for Lego purposes. All of the sets that retire, or nearly all of the sets that retire, perform very, very well in the aftermarket. Really, the toughest thing about investing in Minecraft isn't picking the right sets, because if you know a set is retiring and you just throw darts at a wall, you're probably going to pick a winner in the Minecraft theme. The most difficult part of Minecraft investing is actually identifying which set is going to retire, because Lego has a nasty history of not retiring Minecraft sets on any predictable schedule. And so if you identify the wrong set that doesn't retire and you pick it up at the end of its, say, second year, and it doesn't retire and it goes a third year, then you kind of have to chalk it up as an L and hold that inventory for an additional year, which is a bummer for your overall investment portfolio. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive in to some sets. There are a number of Minecraft sets retiring this year, and I'm going to talk in a little bit more detail about 3 that I like over all of the others, and then also do some really brief discussion of 3 others that I think are certainly investable, but won't be at the top of my list unless there's a significant discount or some other opportunity to purchase these sets at a significant drop from MSRP, or a really good gift with purchase promotion at lego.com or something like that. So sort of in order of my favorites, my number 1 set that I really, really like that's retiring this year is 21154, the Blaze Bridge. This is a set that I thought may retire at the end of last year, and so I did purchase some at the end of last year, and unfortunately had to hold those for a year. This is my number 1 pick out of the Minecraft theme. I would be shocked if at the end of my buying season this wasn't one of the 4 or 5 most widely held sets that I have in my inventory at the end of, say, January next year. This is a set that is has been on the market for about 2.5 years. Looks like it came out in the middle of 2019 and then will retire here at the end of 2021. It is sort of right in the wheelhouse of the price point of sets that I like to invest in. It's a $30 set. It has spent most of its lifetime at the sort of $24 price point. It's one of those sets that's been discounted to $24 for most of its life. And its Amazon rank is incredibly good. You know, at that 20% off price, which is what it's at right now on Amazon, it's got a rank that consistently runs, right around 1,000. And if our goal is to invest in sets that sit under 5,000 with a 20% off price, then under 1,000, today it's number 887, but it's going to bounce around a few hundred one way or the other on any given day or any given moment. It means it's incredible. It's moving an incredible volume at Amazon. And so, having been on the market for 2.5 years and consistently holding a quality sales rank at that price point, that's a really good start. Furthermore, if you look at the camel chart for the Blaze Bridge, there are a handful of times over the last 2.5 years. The longest stretch was sort of in the middle of 2020. I imagine during some inventory crunches on Lego's end when Amazon just sort of ran out of stock. And that's represented by some like dotted lines on the Amazon price chart. And so people, if they wanted the set, had to resort to third-party sellers. And you can see that the price quickly jumped into the mid 40s for this set, even after just a day or two of being out of stock at Amazon. And that's a really good sign for when it goes into retirement and Amazon doesn't have it anymore, is that this set quickly can jump into a price point that is, around double what your buy-in was. So if your buy-in was 24, plus a little bit of tax, you really just needed to get up to about $50 before the price has doubled essentially. And you want it to get to about 60 so that, after fees and all that kind of stuff, you walk away with doubling your money. But, that's a really good indicator that in just a couple of days, this set went up very quickly. And I predict that it will do so again post-retirement. It's not a set that I'm hearing a lot about on other channels. So this may not be a super widely hoarded set compared to some others in the Minecraft theme, which are being targeted by other people who promote Lego investing. And so therefore this is sort of my number one pick in the Minecraft theme. Moving on to number 2 is 21159, the Pillager Outpost. This is my second favorite set in this theme. You can see that it's been out for a standard 2-year cycle. It came out in January of 2020. It has the new box art. If you compare the box art of the Blaze Bridge to the box art of the Pillager Outpost, you'll see that in January 2020, Lego changed the box art that they were using. Instead of that dark green background behind the Minecraft logo, it's now sort of a sky blue. And I don't know if that relates to any changes that happened in the game, or if that was just Lego redesigning the box art to make it a little bit more fresh or a little bit different. Nonetheless, I sort of like that that box art style of the new style. Nonetheless, this is again kind of in the price point that I like. It's a $30 set that has been at $24 for most of its life cycle. So it's been a widely discounted set, and also, has a very strong Amazon rank. Its rank today is right around 2,500. Which is, a really good rank. And, given all of those factors, it certainly looks like a very good set. On the handful of occasions that it has gone out of stock at Amazon, and it really hasn't gone out of stock all that much, but, a couple of times it did in the middle of 2020, and around Christmas time of last year. There are a couple of very, very short windows when it went out of stock, and quickly went into the 40s for prices on third-party sellers. And so I would expect this set, which does feature, which is the first kind of Pillager set to retire that I'm aware of. I would expect that once this goes out of stock at Amazon, that it will appreciate very quickly and quite easily double its price, if not more, in the first year after retirement. The third set I'm going to talk about is 21151 Ender Dragon, the End Battle. This is another good set that I really like. It's a $20 set, so it's a little bit lower price point versus the other two. This set has, again, been on the market for 3 full years. which is not an outrageously long amount of time. It's been at that $16 price point for most of its history. It holds a very, very strong Amazon rank. It's at 600 today, which is really, really good. On the handful of times it's gone out of stock at Amazon, it has, immediately jumped up into the high 20s or low 30s for a price point. I certainly don't have any concerns that this one won't perform well. I certainly would expect it to double in price in the first year, maybe more. It reminds me of some sets in Minecraft's history that have had sort of dragons, and those have all performed well. I wouldn't compare it on an ROI perspective to those old ones because it's a different set in a different environment, but it certainly sort of reminds me of those historical examples. The only really knock on this set, quite honestly, other than the 3-year window versus a sort of normal 2-year cycle, is that this seems to be a widely targeted set by folks on other LEGO investment channels. Nonetheless, the sort of basic numbers are just so overwhelming that I had to include it in my list of top 3 Minecraft sets that I will be targeting. And so what does that mean for these 3 sets? That means that I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with buying these sets when I see them on discounts. Their sort of everyday discount is 20%. If I see any of these 3 sets go to 25 or 30% off, I'm immediately going to open up the wallet and spend. If I see these sets start to disappear at some retailers versus others, or go out of stock on Lego.com, then I will more aggressively be buying these sets even at the current 20% discount. In fact, I already own some Blaze Bridges and a handful of end battles. I don't think I own any Pillager Outposts yet, but I would expect that I'll have a good number of all 3 of these by the end of the buying cycle. So I won't wait for super deep discounts on these. If they come, then that's going to cause me to buy even more of them than I might originally target. But nonetheless, these 3 are going to be high on my list. I'm going to be looking at them frequently, seeing what inventory levels are out there, see if Amazon goes out of stock at any one point. If they do, then I will immediately shift my focus to Target and Walmart and Kohl's and all of the other websites that sell Lego and see if I can snatch up some inventory. Before I close, I want to talk about 3 other sets that I think are good sets. Some of them are targeted widely by other blogs and podcasts and YouTube channels, but I'll go through them very briefly. The first one is 21155, the Creeper Mine. So this is a set that's been on the market for 2.5 years. It sort of semi-retired in the middle of this year. It got kind of taken off of Walmart and Target earlier this year. It's still available on Amazon at the $80 price point. I certainly think it's going to perform well. It could double or even more in the first year to $160. It's a little high on the price on the MSRP for what I like to target. I think something has to be really outstanding in that $80 to $100 range for me to get super excited. When it's gone out of stock on Amazon, it's pretty quickly jumped up into the 120s and 130s for a price point. It has a really good Amazon rank. Its current rank today is under 2,000, and that's at a full $80 MSRP. This is not a set that's been discounted all that heavily in its history. There's only been a few times when it's been marked at 20% off. So, all of those numbers kind of add up, and the only real knock on it is its MSRP, which might make it hard for it to, really be a home run and triple in value in a year, which is, something that we might hope for out of some of our investments, not all of them, but some of them. And it's also a set that I've seen targeted a number of times by other by other investors, and so therefore it might be a little bit more hoarded than the other three that I talked about. But overall, I certainly expect it to perform well. And if I saw it at a decent discount, at a 20 or 25% discount, especially given the fact that it wasn't discounted at all during its print run, I would definitely pick some of these up. The next one is 21163, the Redstone Battle. This is the first of the Minecraft Dungeons sets to retire. This one's had a relatively short shelf life. It's only been on the market for 18 months. Came out in the middle of 2020. Has a really strong Amazon sales rank. It's 2,500-ish today. It's a $40 set that's been at $32, 20% off for most of its history. The only thing that I really question on this set, again, I will pick some up if they drop further than 20% off, is that I just don't have a feel for how the dungeons theme in Minecraft will sell. This set certainly has done well on the handful of times that Amazon's gone out of stock. It's around Christmas time in 2020 it went out of stock, and this set went up into the 50s. And so if I can get this set for somewhere in the high 20s, I'm going to be certainly opening up the wallet and purchasing some, but it's not a set I'm going to target over the first three that I talked about. And then the last one is 21152, the Pirate Ship Adventure. Again, this is another set that meets all of sort of the basic criteria. It's a $40 set that has been discounted for most of its life down to $32. It has a pretty good Amazon sales rank. It's at 4,300 today, and that's at the full $40 MSRP. It's been out for 3 full years. There's no real necessarily knock against it. My only real concern is on the handful of times that Amazon has gone out of stock over these 3 years. This set has not sort of jumped into the $50 to $60 price point immediately, which is something that does happen on and has happened on some of the other sets that I've talked about. So again, if this set happens to get put at a 30 or 40% off price tag by a retailer, or using coupons or other cashback opportunities, I'm able to get this set for effectively a price in the mid to high 20s, then I'm definitely going to be buying some. Okay, that's the show for today. Thank you all for joining us. I hope that you've enjoyed the show today. If you did, feel free to give us a review and a rating on whatever platform you download podcasts. And if you want to reach out to the show, please email us at podcast@brickvelocity.com. Talk to you again soon. Thanks. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the Brick Velocity podcast. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to the show and give us a rating and review. See you next time.